Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at in the world this morning. Welcome to another episode of my Mortgage Hound. Thanks for bearing with me, man. I don't know about you guys, but I was sick. Good morning, Gavin. Gavin, are you in Long Beach too, or are you referring to me being in Long Beach? Guys, I was sick. I know it's going around. I don't know if it's a form of COVID or what it was, but I appreciate everyone having their patience with me canceling that stream last minute. But we're back with no interruptions in the future, hopefully. Got a great episode for you guys today. There's been a lot going on in the mortgage world. A lot going on with our company as far as new products. While we wait for everyone to get logged in here, one thing I'm really excited about in this market coming up this buying season is our construction loan. Our construction loan, I've learned a lot about it this week. It's pretty incredible. It's going to give a lot of people opportunities that I didn't even know existed, like being able to use a construction loan on a VA, being able to do zero down up to $1 million on a new construction build. Oh, Gavin, you're going to have to stop by and say hi. We're down here too. All right, turn the music down a little bit. I can do that. Okay. Let me know if that music level sounds better. I hate it when I'm right sometimes. And at the end of last year, we were doing a lot of business planning with our referral partners, our real estate agents, other lenders in our office. And everyone was very excited for interest rates to come down. And myself, a few other loan officers that work with us, we're totally on board with interest rates coming down as fast as everyone thought. And we did see a little bit of a drop. We almost got down into the high fives. But let's take a look at where interest rates are at today. Okay, so all the interest rates we use on this live stream, I pulled directly off of this website, Mortgage News Daily. Mortgage News Daily is my go-to resource for getting a very unbiased average, national average of where interest rates are for that day. And you can see that our FHA mortgages and VA are still in the mid sixes. We've creeped up to 6.64. Just about 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were in that high 5 range. 30-year fixed, conventional, 7.08. So we bumped back over 7%. Jumbo, 7.40. This is also a great resource to go to for news in the mortgage market. If you want to have a better understanding of why rates are doing what they're doing, there's really good quick articles on here that give you a good idea of what's going on. So here's an article on how rates rapidly recovered this week. Now, when they say recover, we're not talking a 0.5% rate. We're talking a little bit of an improvement from where we were. Rates did tick up a little higher than they are now. We've seen a little bit of recovery on that. But if you're out shopping and you've been shopping for the last 60 days, it is critical that you are in communication with your loan officer. And hopefully that's me. But if not, make sure you're in communication with your loan officer. They're reaching out to you, vice versa, and going over the numbers. Because when we see a change in rates of 0.25% or more, that's going to affect what you are pre-approved for, okay? And you may be pre-approved for one amount. A few weeks later, that might drop $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Or vice versa, it may improve. So it's absolutely critical that you're in good communication in this market with your loan officer on what's going on with rates. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any interest rate questions or thoughts or comments? We are getting into the buying season. Yes, it's still February, but like I've been saying the last few episodes, the buying season starting early this year, and we're seeing it. The market is still, if we're still streaming, can someone throw it in the chat? Looks like we're back. So like I was saying, I don't know if that got recorded or not, but even though we're in an early buying season now, there's still opportunities to ask for concessions from the seller. Renegotiate your purchase price. Thanks, Ray. And possibly look at maybe a 2-1 buy down. A 2-1 buy down is also a great way to kind of counteract the volatility in interest rates. And we've covered that a lot on the stream. We're going to cover it again today. All right, Gavin Hutkins, who's on the stream. Gavin, if you're here, if you're in Long Beach, you should come over and jump on camera and say hi to everybody. Gavin every week sends us some statistics. So let's take a look at those. All right, so we are in Southwest Washington, Clark County specifically. And here are our weekly snapshot numbers. New listings, down 4%, 173 new listings. Now, as we get closer to springtime, we want that number to be positive, okay? The only thing that's gonna help our market is new listings. So 173, fairly flat, down a little bit. Pending sales, so listings that have gone into contract but have not yet closed, flat from last 2 weeks ago, 181, down 1%. Listings sold, 140. This says up 50%. Unfortunately, we didn't stream last week, so I don't know exactly what the listings sold number was last week. But 140 feels fairly flat. But this says up 50%. But anyways, you can see we need the listings sold and the new listings numbers to balance each other out, or else we're going to end up in another inventory crisis. A lot of people say we're already in one. Good morning, Ben. There is a max on how much the seller can buy down. We're going to cover that in just a second. Okay. Move our chat window here. It's not even working. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So every time a real estate agent opens a lockbox on a house, that data gets collected, and that's reporting here. So this is our lockbox activity for Oregon, up 6.4%. For Washington, up 10.3%. I think we're going to continue to see that trend through spring, where we're going to be increasing week over lockbox activity as more people are out shopping. Okay, so there is a limit on how much the seller can contribute, not necessarily for an interest rate buy down, but for anything. Okay, the rough rule of thumb is check with your lender, shoot me a message. There's a link in my description to schedule a call with me if you want to go over the specifics, and maybe I'll pull up the guidelines if we have time today. Typically, it's 3%. Depending on what loan program you're doing and how much you're putting down, it can be as little as 2%. Like if you're putting 20% down on an investment property, or if you're buying a multiple, like a triplex, you might be limited to 2%. For most transactions, it's 3% of the purchase price. And FHA, VA, they'll allow up to 6% of the purchase price as contribution. So if we're buying a $400,000 house, we could ask for $12,000, which would be 3%, and we can use that money however we like. We can use it to buy down the interest rate, we can use it for 2-1 buy down, we can use it to pay our closing costs. And you guys hear me say all the time that we help people finance their home in a smart way. And that question, Gavin, is really good, because how can we get the most leverage out of what the sellers are giving us? Is it best to, if the sellers are willing to give us 12 grand off the purchase price, is it better to ask to use that for a, Ray just texted me, it's 4% on VA, thanks Ray. Is it better to use that to buy down our interest rate? Is it better to use that to pay our closing costs? Where can we get the biggest bang for our buck? Or how can we increase our buying power, borrowing power in this market as rates go up by using seller concessions in a smart way? And we're going to cover a little bit of that today. All right. I think we're done with our housekeeping. You guys ready to dive into some properties? So Ray, I really did not look at this property closely. I wanted to look at it live with you guys for the first time. Ray Broughton is a co-worker of mine. He's a loan officer in the Columbia River Gorge. He's in Stevenson, but he services both sides of the river out in the gorge, and Vancouver, Portland. Very, very sharp guy. Really good at dealing with properties in the gorge, which can be unique, and I think this is one of those unique properties. So we are at 142 Sunday Drive in Bingen, Washington. Okay, Bingen, Washington, if we look at our map here, is out in the gorge. Just north of Carson and White Salmon. So if we even scroll out further here, so here's Portland Airport. We're up in the gorge, about halfway between the Dalles, which is in Oregon, kind of across from Hood River. Ray says Underwood, Washington. Is that where the house is located, or are you saying close to Underwood, Ray? All right, let's read our description here. Okay, so this home is in Underwood, but technically it's in Bingen. Modern design meets rustic charm. So this home is on the Little White Salmon River, which does have a run of salmon. I believe they might have a steelhead run as well. Don't quote me on that. So backs up to 9,000 acres of U.S. Forest Service land. Has RV hookups. Okay, and Ray is will be at this house holding it open with the real estate agent. Sorry, I don't have my phone right in front of me, Ray. Are you guys holding this one open on Saturday or Sunday? And if so, what time? Throw that in the chat so everyone can see. And what a beautiful weekend to take a drive out to the gorge. Okay, so let's look at our pictures here. So right away, you can see the river right in your backyard. Oh, this is great. This is one of Rachel's listings. We've been trying to get one of Rachel's listings, or one of her open houses, one of her listings on the stream for a while. Rachel is the owner of a real estate brokerage in the gorge. So you guys will be out there today from 1 to 3. So stop by, tell them you saw this on the stream. So very up-to-date, clean, bright, big windows that I'm assuming look out at the river. So on this home rate, the property's on both sides of the river, is that correct? Nice wood burning stove. Look like 9-foot ceilings to me. 2020 build, so it's newer construction, so yeah, I'm sure those are 9-foot ceilings. Nice kitchen with an island. Now we're dealing with 1,664 square feet. So this feels nice and open in this great room concept for having 1,600 square feet. Cool retro fridge. Right, do you know what type of flooring is in this house? That almost looks like concrete floors. It could be some sort of vinyl, but it looks like concrete floors. Okay, we're upstairs. Decent sized master bedroom. Those concrete floors are really hot for a while. I really like them. Low maintenance. So this looks like a view out of the master bedroom out to the river. And I think that's the private seating area Ray's talking about in the chat. Our chat's still not working. Let's see if I can fix it really quick. There we go. Chat should show up on the screen now. There we go. So very nice master bath. Looks like a huge walk-in shower. Dual vanities. Under the counter mounted sinks. This looks like bedroom number 2. Guest bath. Very nice. So it looks like laundry room is next to the guest bath, half bath. All right. Very good shot, drone shot of our property line. So it is on both sides of the river, and I'm assuming past those trees there on the other side of the hills, the Forest Service land, that 9,000 acres. There's the outdoor sauna. Very cool sauna with a clear roof. Good drone shot of the river. So Ray, if I live in this house, how long does it take me to get to the Portland airport? Some wildlife. Turkeys. Coming up on turkey season for all those turkey hunters out there. Shed. Okay, so an hour and a half from the airport. Pump house. Very cool. So just shy of $1 million, $995. Let's take a look at some numbers. So when I was putting this together this morning, I really see this house going to a veteran. I mean, this is out in the country, great home to go retire in, be in a little community. Out in the gorge, somebody that loves wildlife, loves the outdoors. All right, so we're gonna start by looking at a VA 30-year fix. And one of the reasons I wanted to show a VA this morning too is the VA loan limits are not the same as conforming. So the 766 is our conforming loan limit, meaning if you're going to go above that, you're in jumbo loan territory. But not the case on VA. So we are at $995. Our loan amount's going to be $995. So we're going to put zero down on this. If we go to the Mortgage News Daily website, you can see that our VA 30-year fixed 6.67, which is what we're using here. If I click on this more info link, this is going to take us to our payment breakdown tab. Again, $995 is our purchase price. Principal and interest, zero down, okay? So we're financing the whole $995, is $6,400 even. Property taxes, okay? This is another big advantage of being out in the gorge. You're getting all that property. Property taxes are only $260 a month. You know, and that's another way to leverage your buying power, is by looking out in the gorge or into a neighborhood or part of town that has lower property taxes. Look, for every $60 a month you can save in property taxes, mortgage insurance, is going to affect your borrowing power by roughly $10,000. So if we were in this price range in Camas, for example, our property taxes might be $660, maybe even higher. That extra $400 is equivalent to about $80,000 in buying power. Meaning you could have a home that is an extra $80,000 more expensive, but your payment would be the same. So you're qualifying, you're gonna have an easier time qualifying with property taxes at $260 a month. Homeowners insurance. I smile because we got to use our homeowners insurance last week. And I think next week I said we're going to go over our construction loans. I'm also going to try to get one of our trusted insurance agents on the stream to talk about a burglary that happened to us last week. But the homeowners insurance is there to protect the home in case of a fire or, in our example, a burglary. You're going to be somewhere between $50 and $100 a month. Ray, maybe being out in the gorge, you can kind of tell me if you think that's accurate or not. So we're going to use $75 for homeowners insurance in this example. Nice thing about VA is there's no monthly mortgage insurance. There can be a funding fee depending on your percentage of disability, if you're a disabled vet, or if you've used your VA certificate in the last time. We're going to cover that here in a second, but no monthly mortgage insurance. So another way to leverage our buying power, right? So if we add these three numbers together, we get a total payment of $67.35. And this is where we always ask, how does that number sit with you? We're going to get one of three responses. First response is, that's right in my budget. I budgeted $7,000, we're at 65, that's going to work great. I think Gavin wants to come by and be on camera, so I'm going to text him my address here. Another response might be, holy cow, that's way over budget. There's no way I could ever afford that. The third answer that Ray and I get quite a bit, especially from our engineering, accounting clients, is that's exactly what I calculated. And there's no wrong answer, but you're going to feel one of those three ways, and it's really important that you're communicating that to your real estate agent and your loan officer so we can make adjustments as needed, look at different programs, maybe change our purchase price that we're shopping for up or down. All right. So if we look at our closing costs, you can see our VA, we're putting zero down. Loan to value ratio is 100%. Total closing costs are going to be around $36.91. That's going to cover your title and escrow fees, which is the majority of that. It's going to cover your county recording fees, and it's going to cover your lender fees, which is going to vary. We charge a flat $14.50 to do the loan. We don't charge a 1% origination fee, any junk admin fees, anything like that. There are two numbers that are not included in that $36.91. The first is going to be your home inspection, which is not required by us. However, we will recommend strongly that you get one. They're a great tool to have. You get a nice report. Details home inspections. Our preferred home inspector. They're going to give you a nice report that's going to show any major flaws or repairs that need to be done to the house. You're also going to get a nice punch list of minor things that can be done. Great negotiating tool and making sure that you are buying a home that isn't going to have any major issues. The second item that's not included in that $36.91 is your home appraisal, which will be required, especially on VA. Those are going to run $800, maybe a little bit more when you're going out in the gorge on a bigger piece of property, but you're going to pay the appraiser directly through their website at the time of appraisal. Points. Gavin asked the question at the beginning of the stream, what are the max contributions to buy down interest rate? If we were buying down the interest rate, that cost would be here. And we cover this a lot on the stream, but there's a smart way to buy points and there's a not smart way to buy points. In this example, we're not going to buy any points because Mortgage News Daily, if you click on the fine print, there's no points built in here, which is why I like it, why I say it's a non-biased resource for interest rates. Prepaid taxes, insurance, and interest. This is going to start our escrow account to cover our taxes and insurance. So if we add all those numbers together, our out-of-pocket expense is $86.91. Only our closing costs and prepaids, and yes, we could ask the seller to pay our closing costs and prepaid, so we're literally coming in with $0. Yes, we're going to have to put down some earnest money deposit, but we could get a large portion, if not all of that, back on a VA. So, am I back? I think the audio's back. Let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, we may lose our audio, so I'm gonna speed this up. In fact, let me see if I can just fix. How about now? Can you guys hear me now? switch to a different microphone. It's not going to sound nearly as good, but okay. So Ray actually sent me 2 homes. I'm only going to show one. We're only going to do a breakdown on one, but I do want to show this one too. If you are looking out in the gorge, but that $1 million price range scared you, here's one out in Carson that Ray's going to be holding open tomorrow. Built in 2009, 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,680 square feet. No, you don't have the Little White Salmon River, but you do have Carson Creek running through your property. So 71 Carson Creek Road. So you don't need to spend $1 million to have a home out in the gorge. 489. I'm not going to go through all the pictures. You'll have to go see Ray if you want to take a look at this home. But nice square footage, nice furnishings. You know, we're half the price here. Nice big garage. So same square footage as the $1 million home, but we are a little smaller lot. Ray, if you're still on, can you give us the lot size on that home? Okay. So as much as I love the gorge, I wanted to do something closer in. So we're going to Ridgefield, which is where we live, and really looking at, you know, starter homes, first-time home buyers. Ridgefield's one of the fastest growing cities in the state of Washington, if not the fastest growing city. And I wanted to show that you don't have to go spend $700,000-800,000 to be in the Ridgefield School District, to live in Ridgefield. Here's a great townhome listed at $430,000, so we're right in that entry-level price range. 3 beds, 3 baths, 1,729 square feet. You can read our description there. Let's go straight to our photos. So very clean, nice new townhomes. I believe these were built in 2020. I believe 2020. We'll go back and check. But you get a 2-car garage, nice great room. You know, one thing I like about this floor plan right away is when you're in that 1,700 square foot or less range, a lot of times there's no entryway. You walk right into the living room. You got a nice long hall entryway here. Nicely done, great room right off the kitchen. Ceiling fans. There's our guest bath. Tile countertops. Nice cabinets. Bedroom number 1. Loft area. Decent sized loft area. That could be your home office. Hey, Gavin, come on in. All right. You know we're live when we have guests walk in. All right.
Don't let me slow your roll.
No, come on in. And for everyone who's never met Gavin, Gavin just happens to be down at the beach with us today. All right, so I think this is bedroom number 2. Maybe the master bath, dual vanities. This is a 1,700 square foot townhome in Ridgefield for 430 grand.
Yeah. You make a good real estate agent.
No, thank you.
Virtual.
No, I just like looking at pictures and going over numbers. So this looks like our guest bath upstairs, I believe. Dual vanities. In this price range, this could be a young family. So having the dual sinks and the guest bath is really nice. Here's our master. A lot of plants.
Inside.
Yeah, a lot of indoor plants. Ceiling fan.
I need Papa Song.
So we do get a walk-in closet in the master. Some shelving there. Back deck. Okay. I didn't want to show us much of the backyard. So let's take a look at some numbers on this home. Now, we talked about at the beginning of the stream, with interest rates going up, maybe revisiting 2-1 buy downs. In fact, Gavin asked what the maximum contributions are for buy downs. So, as a reminder, as a refresher, a 2-1 buy down is not a loan program. It's a loan feature that can be added to almost any program out there for the most part. We're going to apply that 2-1 buy down to an FHA mortgage here. FHA mortgages are not first-time homebuyer specific programs, but they are designed for people that are new in their careers, kind of getting their first start. Okay, so you don't have to be a first-time homebuyer for FHA. The way a 2-1 buy down works is we're going to buy down the interest rate for the first 2 years. Year 1, we're going to buy it down by 2% rate. Year 2, we're going to buy it down by 1% rate. And when I say we're going to buy it down, the sellers are going to pay for that for you. So if we look at our first column here, our purchase price on this townhome in Ridgefield is $430,000. FHA requires 3.5% down, which would make our loan amount $422,626. Interest rate would be 6.640. We pull that off the Mortgage News Daily website. Now, if you look at years 1 and 2, since we're buying that down, year 1, our interest rate goes down to 4.64, and then it'll adjust up to 5.64 for year 2, and then years 3 through the 30 through the end of the loan, you'll be at that 6.640. So it's still a 30-year fix. You're just getting a discount on your rate for the first 2 years. So if we go up and look at our payments, another reason I really like this townhome is you can see our property taxes are $235. Now our assessments are happening now, so that might be a little bit higher once it gets assessed for 2024. But $235, really nice property taxes. Our principal and interest at the fully amortized rate is going to be $27.10. Year 1, it's going to be $21.76. Year 2, $24.36. Homeowners insurance, I'm using $75. FHA does have mortgage insurance. In these examples, it's about $172 a month. So our total payment, $31.92, but for the first year, it's $26.58. So it does give you some time to get used to that higher payment. It also gives you time to wait out the market for a possible refinance where we could drop that rate down. If we look at our closing costs, our down payment's going to be $15,000. $36.91 is going to be your closing costs, which we covered on the last house. This cost here, this $96.84, that's the cost of the buy down. The way we calculate that is we take your monthly savings for the first year, times that, multiply that by 12, add it to the second year savings multiplied by 12, That's what we're going to get. So this is how much you're saving by doing the 2-1 buy down, and we're going to have the sellers pay that for you. So there's the 96.84 representing the cost, and this contributions is where the seller is paying. So if we go to our summary here, I know I went through that fast. Our out-of-pocket expense is going to be $23,741. We're saving $534 the first year, $273 in year 2. Now we're not limited. We could ask for more contributions from the seller, especially on the FHA, and use that to pay some of our closing costs and really get that number down. But I know the consensus in the market. I know what it feels like to be out shopping right now. Gavin and I have clients. In fact, we were talking about one today that had their pre-approval letter or pre-approval amount drop with interest rates going up. So this is a way to kind of leverage a loan feature to get yourself into a home. Because a lot of first-time home buyers right now, they're really intimidated by these payments, as they should be. So there we go. We went through that really, really quick. Next week, first of all, go ahead and like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It really does help us out. We're trying to build this community up, build this channel up. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. We'll be back next Saturday at 9 a.m. We're going to be covering new construction loans. Gavin, I haven't told you yet, but our new construction programs, I researched them this week. They're awesome. VA, FHA, conforming. So we're going to cover buying a piece of property, finding a builder, and financing it all. And it's really opened up what you can do. It's not just for buyers with a large down payment anymore, somebody that already owns land. So it might be a good alternative as we run into some tighter inventory this summer. We're also going to cover Cody's burglary that happened last week. We're going to have an insurance agent on to kind of talk us through coverages, how important it is to set up your homeowner's insurance the correct way. For example, make sure your deductible makes sense. That was a mistake I made. So make sure you tune in next week, share the video, reach out to us. Everyone's information's in the description. Gavin, thanks for stopping by. Just in time to help me install my new security system. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you next time. Boom, right at 45 minutes.